you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
all in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion. Going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back. Giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre, McGuire, and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche And after 22 years, Raymond Mark!
The sickest NHL podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome to another edition of the Eye Test here in the Sick Podcast Network. He is Pierre McGuire. I am Jimmy Murphy. Pierre, how are you today, my friend?
I'm well. I like our friend Rick Dollywall.
I do too.
Can we get Rick on?
We'll get him on again for sure. Rick and I have been in touch a lot. We were texting a lot over our trip to Belfast. He was watching us and really enjoyed us. He was very proud of us. Told me how lucky I am to be doing this podcast with you, which I already knew, but he's a great guy.
I'm lucky to be doing it with you because you have to work on this show. It's not like you roll over. You actually have to do work, which is good.
It's work I love.
So let me just say one thing. Mm-hmm. I love Rick Dollywall.
Do you want to tell us why?
No, I just want to say he's got character and moxie.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm going to say.
All right, I agree, and I think he agrees with us on certain opinions. We'll just leave it at that.
That's good.
Of how the journalism world is going right now in terms of journalism. We'll leave it at that. All right, let's get right into it, Pierre. And we got a few topics I want to talk about, but I want to get right to the game that a lot of our listeners and viewers, as well as yourself and our great producer Shane, will be paying attention to. And that's the Ottawa Senators at Montreal Canadiens. Now, we sit here. It's 4:00 or 4:07 to be exact, on Eastern time on December 2nd. I won't say this is a must-win for either team because I think that's too strong at this point in the season to say, but this is a very important, critical game, I think, for each team. Would you agree?
You said it great. 100%. So this is a 4-point game. Everybody says, oh, this is a 4-point. That's a 4-point. This is a 4-pointer. And for Montreal, it might even be a little bit more. You can't lose on home ice in these ones. Really important. So you look at Montreal, this is a thing that nobody's talking about right now. Montreal's got 15 games to play in the month of December. This is game 1 of 15.
Mm-hmm.
Ottawa didn't have that many. Ottawa's only got 13. So this is a big tilt.
Yeah.
It's a big, big tilt for Montreal. It's a big tilt for Ottawa. And I do this show with Alex Adams about Ottawa's games, and I watch all the Sens games. I'm proud to say I worked there 2 different times. I love the city. I love everything about it. I think the team's trending the right way. But at the start of the trip, Jimmy, you could see Travis Green was basically playing 3 lines. They won in Anaheim, they won in San Jose, and they lost a heartbreaker in LA. So in California, they go 2-1, but you could see they're starting to wear out. And they go into Vegas, and I got to give them total credit on this. They get an unbelievable performance by Linus Ullmark, and they win that game in a shootout. Right. So now all of a sudden they're on this trip, and they're steamrolling it, and it's a 7-game trip. And then, Jimmy, they go into St. Louis, Tkachuk's first game back, and they lose. And then they go into Dallas. They don't just lose, they get squashed.
Yeah.
And I think it all comes down to they played a short bench through the first 3.5 games or so of the trip. And now it's kind of come back to hit them. So we'll see what they have left in the tank tonight. We'll see. We'll see what they have tonight.
And on the flip side, the Canadiens come back off a 3-game roadie out west, Pierre, 2-1. We all know that it did not end well at all. It was just, one of those nights where you're coming off a game the night before, you're playing at higher elevation, and you're playing the best team in the league. When we say the best team in the league, we mean by a landslide right now. It's not even.
Sir. Yes, sir.
So the recipe was there for a loss. It's just one of those things. However, while I'm not criticizing. I think they're a little tired. I think that all those things that we just said factor in. There's people out there right now questioning whether the effort was there from the Canadiens in that game. Did you think
which people? Are these internet people or are these hockey
internet people? And these are radio people in Montreal even saying this on a channel that you appear on at 5:30 every night.
Those people are saying this?
Not on the show you're on, but on the shows before it, saying there were plays where maybe, even if you're probably going to lose this game, you still give your all. I complete disagreement because from what I saw, the effort was there. It was just fatigue.
All I can say is watch the first period of that game. Watch the first period of that game. That was outstanding hockey from Montreal. At one point, the shots were 2-1 in favor of Montreal combined, not 2 shots to 1. You know, it was like 8-4. It was like 10-5. It was like 12-6. And Montreal was in good shape. They gave an effort. What happens is when you're playing at 6,000 feet and you're playing, 3 games in 4 nights or 3 games in 5 nights, and you're going from time zone to time zone to dry to cold to hot to altitude, it's not that easy, man.
You're human. You're human.
Jimmy, I know I told you this. There were 2 safe bets last week. One was CBJ going into Winnipeg. I told you before the game. And I don't like to do this publicly, but I told you, Jimmy, you can't miss on this one. And the other one, I know I told you, Montreal going into Colorado on Saturday afternoon/night. Safe bet. They're going down like a power window.
That's it. And you were absolutely correct. That being said, so both teams want to bounce back from their last game. Where you could say they lost by a large margin there. They want to bounce back tonight. Pierre, Ottawa's on the tail end of a 7-game road trip. Montreal coming back from the trip we just discussed. Who has an advantage in this situation in terms of fatigue and rebounding faster?
Montreal got back a day earlier to the Eastern time zone, and they didn't have to play 6 games. They played 3. So they have now.
The way I was looking at it.
Doesn't mean anything.
Right.
But they have a tinge of an advantage. What I'm a little concerned about is Strubal's hurt. He didn't play on Saturday. Doesn't look like he's going to play tonight, even though it sounds like they're going to dress a plethora of guys for the warm-up just to see what Ottawa's going to do. Is Ottawa going to play McDermott or not? I don't know what they're going to do.
It's a good segue. That was my next question.
And Jimmy, if they do, and I respect the kid because I've watched him play a lot, and his dad was a tough-nosed guy and a strong guy, Paul, when I was coaching and around the league. But okay, so what are you afraid of? Don't fight him. Let him keep throwing them over the boards. So let's say he plays 8 minutes. You worried? Yeah.
Well, that was what I was going to. That was my next question. We've seen they've had some fisticuffs in the past, dating back to the preseason, and obviously there's a rivalry budding here between these two teams. Do you expect some of that tonight, or you think both teams are going to be more focused on getting those 2 points because it's so critical?
Well, the points really matter. This has come more like a playoff environment. It doesn't mean they can't get after one another. I think Canadiens with Josh Anderson, with Florian Jack-Guy, with Arbor, they got more than enough artillery. They probably have more artillery than Ottawa does. Honestly, I would not want Brady fighting. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't want Brady fighting. I know they're talking about putting a line together of Zetterlund, Stützle, and Brady to try to get a little mismatch situation going. I don't know how that works or not. I know one thing, Stützle and Batherson are really good together. He was very good in St. Louis. His first game, he had 8 shots on goal. He wasn't particularly good against Dallas, but that's normal. I expect to be a little bit better tonight, but I don't expect Brady to really elevate probably until they get home and they start to play a little more in rhythm. But he's going to make a big difference for their team. And Jake Sanderson, Jimmy. Jake Sanderson's a real deal. Jake Sanderson's a real deal.
I know. Good stuff there. All right, Pierre, the next game I want to go to, Panthers are in Toronto is in Florida to play the Panthers. First time they played since the playoff series last year. Let's jump back, rewind to that, Pierre, because we thought that series really had an effect on how Toronto approached their offseason and the type of players they tried to go out and sign in terms of sort of emulating the Panthers and the style they play. They went out and they got players that are known to play that way, but it hasn't exactly gone that way. Can a game like this, a big division game, both teams would like to be higher in the standings than they are right now, can that sort of get the physicality to resurface from the Toronto Maple Leafs? Can they find it in this game?
Yeah, sure. And they're coming off a little bit of a high. They pulverized Pittsburgh on Saturday night. It's a first real blowout win they've had in a while. And I'll say this, because I do all of Pittsburgh's pregame shows. That's as poorly as I've seen Pittsburgh play in their own zone all year. They were really bad. That's not Toronto's fault. I think part of that is Toronto did a good job exposing Pittsburgh down low with the cycle game. But here's when you and I talked this morning, actually late mid-morning, we were talking about the center ice position in Florida. So I just want the fans at home to hear this because it's important. And I'm shocked again. I'm going to say it. And I'm not trying to pick a fight with the media, but I'm shocked. And I said it to Jimmy, and he's a journalist. How come nobody's written this? It's not been written anywhere. So I'm going to give it to you. Lundell, Rodriguez, Bennett, Luke Cunnin. That's the center ice position right now for the Florida Panthers. This is what it was last year in the playoffs. Sasha Barkov, Bennett in the 2-hole, Lundell in the 3-hole, Nosek in the 4-hole. So Barkov is hurt, Nosek is hurt, Tkachuk is hurt, Kulikov is hurt, and now it sounds like Reinhart might not play.
And Pierre, you can actually add Kunin. I don't know if he's a healthy scratch or not, but I'm looking to the most updated depth chart. This is as of 2:30 p.m. today. They have Jack Studnicka, former first-round pick of the Boston Bruins, in at the fourth line center slot behind Bennett.
So then Luke Cunnin is probably injured or a healthy scratch. I just saw Jack Studnicka play in Charlotte for their American League team against Iowa, Minnesota's farm team, about a month ago. And he looked good. He looked solid. He looked too good for the American League at that point of the season. So that's good. That's probably why he got promoted.
Yeah.
But I'll just tell you this right now. Like, just to be fair to Florida and to Paul Maurice, people, I can't believe nobody's saying that. All they say is there's injury. Everything in Florida goes down the middle. And that's where they crushed everybody with Barkov, with Bennett, with Lundell, with Nosek. Well, Lundell's now gone from the 3-hole to the 1-hole. Yep. Rodriguez didn't even play center in the playoffs. Now he's in the 2-hole. Bennett's had a tough year. He's in the 3-hole. And Cunnin isn't even playing tonight. Yeah. Studnicka wasn't even on the team last year.
Exactly.
Like, that's what's happened.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this, to be honest, Pierre, and look, like, we see how competitive the Eastern Conference is right now. I'm not going to say he deserves Coach of the Year, but Maurice deserves a ton of credit for even having them sniffing it right now. Like,
yeah,
fair.
They have still a very good defense, and they got elite goaltending. You know, but you're not wrong. The guy that I think, if you want to be fair about Coach of the Year, it's got to be Cooper in Tampa.
Oh yeah.
What they're doing there, they've won 7 in a row. They're playing without Chernak. They're playing without Point. They're playing without McDonough. Like, they're playing without a lot of guys.
Yeah.
But the guy, he's got to be in the Coach of the Year conversation. Hines in Minnesota's got to be. He's got to be. They had a ton of injuries too. Yeah, Marco a little bit. I would agree. Marco's got to be in that discussion a little bit. And what about Quenneville in Anaheim?
Oh, for sure.
So, I mean, you got a lot of potential coach. And you know what? Gulutzan and Dowell's done a heck of a job. It's done a heck of a job.
I want to get back to Florida, though, in the center position there, Pierre. Yep. Bill Zito has shown over the last 3 years that he doesn't waste time when he needs something to going out and get it on the trade market.
Yep.
We haven't heard Florida's name when it comes to this highly coveted 2C that every team.
You know why, though? Can I just interrupt you for one second? You know why? Because they don't freaking leak.
Yep.
That's why.
So my question is, should we not be surprised if, when all is said and done, a month from now, maybe right before the Olympics, it's the Florida Panthers who go out and get a 2C because of the injuries they've dealt with?
Yeah, they're not afraid to do business.
I wouldn't sleep on Bill Zito.
They're not afraid. Look, they just signed Robbie Fabry to an ATO, or actually a PTO in Charlotte. And Robbie's a good man. He's a good organization man. He's a solid player. I don't know if he's got a lot of wheels left, but I think he can still help somebody in a pinch. He's not a centerman. He's a winger. But Robbie's a good organization man. He is. I'm just telling you, he's a good person and he's a good player.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think you're onto something there, Jimmy. I do. Like, the looks guy. I know Nashville, Calgary, St. Louis. It's like Vancouver. It's the same teams over and over. At some point, somebody's going to start to fall out of it in the East. You know, hey, the boys in Winnipeg, I know you like those guys. They better wake up.
Yeah. And I don't think this is just about missing Hellebuck here.
Last night wasn't. How about you got to have a give a poop meter?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. They just look lost out there. Like they're not the way they usually play as a unit. They're not that way right now.
And you know, what's crazy is they're playing in Montreal tomorrow. Like this is a weirdo schedule for Montreal. You got Ottawa tonight, then you got to play Winnipeg, who's going to ambush you tomorrow night. At least you think they might.
Yeah.
So it's a tough one for Montreal. But I'm just saying, like all of a sudden, Winnipeg goes from, hey, maybe they could win the Central to, holy moly, these guys could miss the playoffs.
Yeah, they got to hang on. Just quickly here, we talk about overcoming injuries and every team's dealing with so many right now. Look, the Nashville Predators is a team that's a whole different topic, but you referenced them. I think a player that people need to start talking about right now, he's done a great job in Roman Yossi's absence, is Nick Blankenburg. This kid is
time out. So you can ask anybody in the Ottawa Senators organization. When he was a free agent coming out of Michigan, I was working in Ottawa. His best friend at Michigan, a guy named Josh Norris. We tried everything to sign Nick Blankenburg in Ottawa. Okay? We thought he could be a utility guy. Some of us did. As a forward and a D, because he could skate and he can make plays with the puck. And I had numerous conversations with Nick. And I had numerous conversations with Josh. And and congratulations to Josh, by the way. I'm so happy for him. 2 goals and an assist last night for Buffalo. But Blankenburg, I'm so glad you picked up on that. Yeah. We tried, and he was really – he said, Mr. McGuire, I'm from Michigan. Columbus is in my backyard. It's the United States. I'm an American kid. Like he said all the right things. And I said, I don't blame you at all. I totally understand. I get it. I had one other conversation with a big time free agent who was a good friend of mine who we tried to sign. And I'll never forget it. He just said, Pierre, I can't wrap my head around the taxes situation in Canada. I just can't do it. I said, I get it. Anyways, so Blankenburg's a great pickup by you.
Yep.
He's playing really well. He's a tremendous person.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Huge fan. He's undersized. He just makes plays. He goes about his business. I'm a little surprised he wasn't back in Columbus. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah. But I was going to ask you what happened there. He's kind of bounced around a bit.
It's a little bit. I think the size. I think people worry about the size a little bit. Yeah. He's a good player. I got a soft spot in my heart for him.
Good. And you know who loves him? I saw, and I got to give him credit. This is how I discovered how well he's doing. Is Hal Gill was talking about him the other night on the broadcast and just raving about how great he is in the dressing room with these guys and how hard he works. And it's a good story.
Now you know why Michigan won so many games when Norris was there and Blankenburg was there. Like they had a good coaching staff, but Red was there, obviously Berenson, and then Mel Pearson was there. But those are good. They were good kids. Really, I'm not a homer for University of Michigan hockey. Okay, I'm just not.
No, I know that.
But I'm going to tell you something. I'm watching that Adam Fantilli last night fight. Okay, with Ziegenthaler from New Jersey. And I've been watching this kid a long time since he played at Kimball Union Academy before he went to the Chicago Steel. I knew he was pretty tough, and I knew he was really strong, but I didn't know he could get after it like that. That was impressive. That was good.
All right, speaking of fights, Pierre, the final thing I want to ask you is what was and we're going to talk about that Columbus, New Jersey game. What was your take on the Voronkov-Dylan fight there? Did you think it was a little out of line what Voronkov did there? Is it?
Yeah. So there's a bias too for all of us because Brendan Dillon's a popular guy around the league. Everybody likes him.
Yep.
And
it's his 1,000th game.
There's 11 players. Let's think about this for a second. There are 11 players in the history of the NHL, only 11 who have played defense in the league that have never been drafted that have played 1,000 games or more. And he's one of the 11. That's an amazing statistic. There's actually been 11 guys that had never been drafted that have played over 1,000 games, and he's one of them. So I'm going to be very cautious on this. Stuff happens in fights, and sometimes guys get squirrely. And I think Voronkov kind of knew that he was fighting a tough guy, And I think he just wasn't going to say no mercy.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to be on the receiving end.
Exactly.
So he kind of said, I got a chance here. I'm going to take it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Dylan, to his credit, he didn't whine about it at all. He was great.
Oh, he was not that. He's not that guy.
No, that post-game interview was great too. By the way, I don't know if you saw that. Amanda Stein brought out a picture of him when he was a kid playing with his dad. And he said, what would this kid think of playing 1,000 games? He said, I was just happy to play one if I ever could.
What I really enjoyed when I was doing a lot of games in San Jose, when they were really in the groove, and they had the murder. Joe Thornton was there. Patrick Marleau was there. Dane, but like all these really good players, sitting down with Brendan talking about Seattle Thunderbird hockey. We had so many good conversations because he's like, you really care about junior hockey? I go, yeah, I do. I really do.
Yep.
I spent a lot of long nights out there. It was good.
And he was, if I'm mistaken, correct me, but he wasn't drafted.
Never drafted in the Western Hockey League. Never
he's
drafted.
Worked his way everywhere he's gone. He's earned it. I mean, he's a great story.
Correct.
All players out there trying to make their way up. That's a good story to pay attention to right there. Pierre, final thing we talked about this morning too. Jordan Binnington, Jim Montgomery going out of the bid after Montgomery gives him the hook after 2 goals. Of course, the social media crowd starts to bring up, which ironically the anniversary is today, the Patrick Waugh situation and all that. And does this mean that Binnington wants out of St. Louis? Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes.
Hey,
it is what it is.
Hey, ask Eddie Belfour what it was like playing for Mike Keenan. Ask Ronnie Hextall. You know, that doesn't mean you're getting kicked out of town.
No.
You know, stuff happens. Mario Tremblay, Patrick Waugh, that was a different one.
There's a lot of stuff around that, I think.
So
you would know better than me, but
there was a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't think Mario got that one wrong either, by the way.
I don't either.
I don't think he did.
Yeah.
I just know Patty was upset, and there's just a lot of stuff going on.
I love the way Montgomery handled it, though, like a pro.
It was perfect. Jimmy did a great job.
He really did.
He did. I think Jimmy did a really good job. There was nothing wrong with that. Look, it's emotional down there. It's a hard business, and sometimes you got to make decisions that aren't always going to win you the popularity contest.
Exactly.
And so then, Jimmy's probably not getting a Christmas card from Binnington.
It is what it is, though.
It doesn't matter. Like, you don't expect that.
Yeah.
It's just part. I know people think that's harsh, and I guess it is, but that's in hockey. That's just kind of how it works.
It's a harsh sport.
We've talked about it numerous times. I've tried to tell my partner over a Guinness or a plane ride or whatever, can't take stuff personal, because once you do, you lose your edge. Can't take stuff personal.
But that's a team too. You got to think everybody there is frustrated right now, Pierre. They came in with such high hopes after the finish they had last year, especially Binnington. I mean, remember after the whatever they call it, why am I drawing a blank?
Four Nations.
Yeah, well, it's that tournament that you love so much. I'll put it that way.
Four Nations, yeah.
4 Nations. He was on fire down the stretch.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
no, Jimmy, you're fair. So let's just briefly say, who are the teams that have disappointed you the most? So I'll give you mine. And Florida's not one of them, because they've been crushed with it. And as much as people in Montreal want us to say Toronto's kind of been middling in terms of disappointment, because they've had a lot of injuries too. And now Brandon Carlo needs surgery. Stolars is not coming back anytime soon. Chris Tanev, we don't even know where he is right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you got Marshall Brafai, who we talked about as another guy that's hurt. So they got guys hurt there. So I don't have them, but I have the New York Rangers as a disappointment. Would you agree?
Yeah, they're at the top of my list.
They're a big disappointment. Edmonton Oilers, with the Edmonton Oilers.
Right there, it goes Rangers, Edmonton, and I got one more.
Okay, and then I'll tell you my third one. It's St. Louis.
I'd have them in there too, Pierre. The other one, and I know I'm just saying this because I'm at the point where it's like, is it ever going to get better there? Is Buffalo.
Jimmy, like, they could still make the playoff. I'm telling you.
Could, but they got to do something. And
I think the Tage Thompson fight against Stefan Nason last week, I think that did a lot for their team. And I know people at home aren't going to want to hear the violence part of it, but it's not the violence part. It's what he said to his teammates before the game. in the dressing room. He says, nobody's getting involved. I'm taking care of my own business.
Mm-hmm.
And when he did, I think that put him on another level, and it put the team on another level too. There's a level of trust there now that I'm not sure existed before, Jimmy.
Yeah, I'd agree. But I'd hope they make the playoffs for those fans there, because you know what? The Bills might not even make the playoffs now either.
Hey, Jimmy, I'll tell you one thing right now that's got to be very troublesome, very troublesome. That was a Canadian team coming into Buffalo last night. So even though they're from Winnipeg, there's still a lot of Jets fans around, and there are a lot of Ontario guys on the Jets team. There were a lot of empty seats, Jimmy. That was hard to watch. And I'll tell you another place where it's getting hard to watch with the fans, and it's not the fans' fault. I get it. St. Louis, there are a lot of empty seats there, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Wow, there are a lot of empty seats.
They're usually right at the top in terms of attendance.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're, but I'm just telling you, Jimmy, both those markets, a lot of empty seats.
I wonder too, Pierre, and just to further on that, this is the holidays now coming up. A lot of people are struggling. They want to make sure they allot their money to their family for presents and trips and all that. Hockey tickets might not be on the top of the list right now.
No, especially for underachieving teams.
It could get worse. It could get really bad.
And then the other night, last Columbus was there. Columbus, New Jersey. In New Jersey, there were empty seats there too, Jimmy.
Yeah.
That was a big, like, Jack Hughes, I think it might be 10 or 11 games now. They're below 500. They're one game below 500 with Hughes gone. New Jersey is.
Man. All right, let's get to our wonderful sponsors right now. We'll start off with Vago Italian, where you can go because they combine the old world classics and the new Italian dishes for over 23 years. Private dining rooms for any occasion. They're open Monday to Saturday evenings and lunch from Tuesday to Friday. They are located at 1336 Green Avenue in Westmount. For reservations, call 514-846-1414. Again, that's 514-846-1414. And a reminder, and when we have the details, we will let you know, but we will be there during the Winter Olympics broadcasting live in the lunch hour because it will sync up with the big-time games, the primetime games over in Italy at the Olympics. By the way, Pierre, I spoke to somebody with the league that I cannot say who today. Seemed a little more confident than the last time I spoke to him about the rink, so that's a good thing.
Did they tell you that the rinks? Did they tell you the rink's a little bit smaller than NHL size?
They did, but they said they're. I'll just leave it at he flat out said, "I feel a lot better than I did the last time I talked to you." That's all I'll say.
Right.
So we'll leave it at that.
Now, all I'll say is now you know why size matters for Team Canada.
Oh yeah.
They're not going to have an overwhelming array of smaller players.
Nope. And I think that's the way Billy Guerin's looking at it for USA as well. He's already on record as saying that. So, but let's go over to our other wonderful sponsor, Betway, where you can still go all the way with Betway and bet those beauties. Join the action right there with the QR code in front of you if you're watching, or go to the website and put in your details in the members section to create your new account and get the great deal where you can get up to $300 back on your first deposit, even if you lose your first bet. That's right. You get free money. All right. How nice is that around the holidays right now? But don't blow it all there. That's why they always tell you, bet responsibly. You must be 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. And this offer is not available in Ontario. A big game slate tonight. So I'm going to roar right through it right now. Dallas Stars are in MSG tonight to face the New York Rangers, one of the worst home teams in the league. That's why I like the Dallas Stars on the puck line, -1.5 at +210 value. Going to hop over to Detroit, where the Bruins are playing the Red Wings on the tail end of home and home. I like Jeremy Swayman, a nice little prop here for you, over 26.5 saves. He's been great lately. He's having a good month in November. He's going to hopefully carry it into December. But either way, I like Detroit unloads on shots. So that's why I like the saves for him. Go over to the Montreal hosting Ottawa. I like the over 6.5 in this one. The Canadiens and the Senators have gone over in 5 of their last 6 meetings. Toronto in Florida, as we told you before. I like the Maple Leafs to take this one over the banged up Florida Panthers on the money line at +130. And then I'm going to head out west to Vegas, where the Vegas Golden Knights are hosting the Chicago Blackhawks. I'm going with an upset here, a big one, big value here, +235. Chicago Blackhawks on the money line to knock off the Vegas Golden Knights. I'll stay out west there in LA. The Capitals and the Kings, two teams that like to play some good defense and get good goaltending. I like the under 5.5, and then I'll close it out in Edmonton, who are hosting the Wild. I like another upset there with the Minnesota Wild on the money line, plus 124. All right, let's go. What do we got? Seamoke. What's up, Seamoke? Pierre, what have you made of Will Smith's season so far? He seems to be really coming to his own.
Yeah, he is. It takes time, especially when you're a young player on a mediocre team. But he and Celebrini are really good together. Obviously, everybody knows that. And I'm not surprised what Will's doing. I've watched him do it throughout his career, but especially at Boston College. So not surprised.
That move the other night, Pierre, with the stick handle to the net.
Pretty good.
The Fresh Prince. All right, what do we got? Next question. Pierre, thoughts on the Canadian World Junior team not having a selection camp this year?
I'm shocked. No, Jimmy, I'm shocked. Can't believe it. One of the advantages, and I told John Hines this back in 2003, one of the advantages Canada always had is they had a selection camp or a camp in the summer, a competitive camp, and then a selection camp, in early December. And it was really rigorous. It was unbelievably hard. And that's why Canada's been so good at this event. It was an unbelievable team to make. And I heard about this the other day, and I was like, really? They're not having a camp? I don't know why that's happening. I have no idea. What?
You think it's just trying to save money or what?
No. You kidding me? They don't need to save money. You don't even want to know what one of those, when they have them in Canada, you don't even want to know what one of those things makes, because you'll say, I'm in the wrong business.
Wow. All right, next question. Randy Workman, Jimmy and Pierre, either you know Cole Reshny.
Really good. He plays at Dakota. He's playing really well.
All right, next question. Paul Cormier, guys, I enjoy the show. Pierre, typically how much leeway does D coach of an NHL team have in determining time on ice for each player? Or is it a consensus between the coaching staff?
Great question. It depends on how much leeway the head coach wants to give the assistant. When I ran the defense for Scotty Bowman, I had total carte blanche. And one time I went up to him and I said, this guy doesn't have it tonight. And he says, stop bothering me. You haven't bothered me all year. Why are you bringing it up now? I said, I just respect you too much. We're talking about Gordy Roberts, our good friend. So, it depends on the level of trust between the head coach and the assistant. But when I worked with Scotty, I never had to answer to him. It was always just go do it, whatever you want.
All right, next question. Chris L. Question for Pierre and Jimmy. Edmonton had the second cheapest goalie tandem in the league, $3.6 million total. Can you really blame the goalies while their top two forwards make $26.5 million?
Yeah, I can really blame the goalies. The goalies aren't good enough there right now. They don't have a legitimate starter. They don't have a 1A, 1B. They're more like a 1B minus and a 2B, right? That's kind of where they're at.
All right, next question. Ethan Russell, what's up, Ethan? Are you able to say a few teams that you think will pursue Quinn Hughes?
Yeah, Detroit, New Jersey. I think there'll be a dark horse in there. But realistically, you got to think that if you want to get him, you got to sign him. And so, who's really going to want him? And where's he? He's from Detroit, even though he was born in Toronto and grew up in Toronto. But I don't think Toronto's getting him.
I don't know if they'll get him, but I think they'll try.
Of course they'll try. There'll be a lot of teams that'll try. But realistically, it's either Jersey or I think Detroit.
All right, next question. Randy Workman, Jimmy and Pierre, I think the best thing that happened to the Sabres was the 6-2 beating. Your thoughts?
Well, that, and I think we talked about it before, Randy. I thought last week against New Jersey, when they had the big fights, obviously, and Tage Thompson did a real good job on Nason, but he told the guys in the dressing room before the game, I'll take care of this on my own. I think that helped their team a lot. All
right, next question. Juice, the Canadiens play 15 games in the month of December. What would be a good win total going into the new year?
Well, let's just say if they could win 9 of those 15 games, they'd be in a really good spot. 9 out of 15 would be really good.
That's a good call. I like that. All right, next question. Seamoke, Pierre, as someone who was the best to ever do it, who do you think is the best between the glass now? I'd have to go with Panger and Ray Ferraro.
Yep, those are the two.
All right, next question. Ethan Russell, do you think the Flyers will keep it going? How did you like Cates at 1C yesterday?
I like Cates as a player, but I don't see him as a 1. I think that's something they're going to have to work out there.
And by the way, speaking of the Flyers, Pierre, if you didn't see it, if our listeners and viewers didn't, Forrester is out 2 to 3 months now with an
Yeah, I saw that when he took the one-timer. I was like, oh, that looked bad. I was really, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, man, that stinks.
You know,
so they're saying 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
So does he need surgery?
I didn't say. That's all
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
That looked really bad. I was like, oh, man, I felt so bad for the kid. He's had, you know what? He's really thrived playing for Rick.
He really has.
He's really thrived playing for Rick.
Wish him the best. All right, next question. Randy Workman. Did the team secretly hope they tank when they know they're out of the playoff picture?
I don't know of one team that has players that want to tank.
Not the players.
No, and I don't know of any coach that wants to tank too, because usually when you tank, you lose your job.
Yeah.
But maybe managers do. I can tell you in all the years, and I'm sure that there have been guys that have plotted to do this. Not one person's ever brought that up to me.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it doesn't happen, but I've never had one person say, oh, yeah, we should lose on purpose.
Guys, though. And, you know, lots of these managers are former players, Pierre. So that competitive drive is still there.
Nobody likes to.
I think it's
your owner.
I really
if your owner tells you you're allowed to tank, you do it. But I would never. I have a heart like
I can never say. No. I can't imagine you if your owner ever went to you, Pierre, and he'd be like,
you know what I would say.
It can't be said on this PG rated show. All right, next question. Juice, how in trouble are the Winnipeg Jets without Connor Hellebuck for another month?
They are
in trouble right now.
They're in trouble.
8 since he's out. I mean,
I'll tell you one thing, Jimmy. They better not lose in Montreal tomorrow.
Yeah, and like as we were saying earlier, Pierre, it's not just him being out. There's something else going on.
There's something missing there.
Yeah,
there's something not right.
Ethan, have you heard anything about pasta? Ethan, I have not. Kevin Paul DuPont recently, as we were coming on the air. Wait a minute, I'll read it here right now. Did say this. This was earlier. He said, sounds as if Pasternak, who is not on a trip, will be down for a bit. He didn't skate today in Brighton. And Sturm told us he still needs to get practices in, a few skates. Doesn't think he's there yet. So
yikes.
That's not good. All right, next question.
Bad.
I think we're done. That's it. Thanks to everyone for our questions there. Pierre, getting excited. I was texting with our good friend Sarah Stanton today. She's finally back on this side of the pond, right back at it, planning for the Friendship Series with the women's tournament coming up at the end of the month into January. And we are already going to start our plans to create a coach's corner for all 4 schools involved in the
She's all, you know what's amazing? She's working so hard. Like I talked to Sarah too today. I had to work some stuff out for some plane tickets.
Yep.
And oh man, like I know she flew back last night.
Yeah.
Like she got home probably around, what time did you get home on Sunday?
To my house. If I had lived in Boston, it would have been about 9:30.
Yeah, so she's probably got home at 10 o'clock last night, and she was right at it bright and early this morning. She's amazing. She really, and just the way she carries herself, you know, you never really like, oh, did she forget this? Is she not doing that? Like she's got it all.
Yeah.
That's what. Hey, did you ever run into Tommy, the bus driver that was talking to us at breakfast the one day?
I did not. I never saw him. We had a different.
I never saw him again.
Yeah, I hope he's okay.
I hope he's okay.
We had a different fellow driving us, and he was hilarious. Pierre, quickly. I know. Well, we're ahead of time tonight, so we're on the bus, and we're kind of coming down the final stretch to the airport. There, you know the ride.
Yeah.
So we got about 10 minutes till we get to the airport, and this hilarious old Irish fellow gets on the microphone. He's a driver, and he says, you know, listen, everybody, I just want to make a stress for those of you that are getting off here and those of you that are staying, even the ones that are staying, please get off and make sure that nobody takes your suitcase by accident because it happens a lot. You'd be surprised. And then they get to customs and then they're done. Like they can't get through customs because they got the wrong suitcase. So
that's actually a good point.
A lot of people this happens to, and he says you'd be amazed how many times we've had calls. Hey, I think I left my suitcase there. So everyone got off, and everyone got the proper suitcase, and it was good.
No, that is good.
That would be a Jimmy Murphy moment if there ever was one.
No, that's good. That's a good actually piece of advice from you, Jimmy.
Yeah.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah.
Want to thank everybody at Elite Prospects.
Yes, Pierre, I want to bring it up.
Anderson over in Sweden. I'm going to be taking a job with them. I'm not going to lose any of my other things. I'm going there as a senior advisor to their hockey operations.
Congratulations.
Prospects, and it'll be formally announced tomorrow. But I just wanted to tell everybody here, and Jimmy knew about it, and I'm really looking forward to doing some work with Hannes and his group there. You can go online and look at it. It's eliteprospects.com.
Oh,
and it's good. Site. It's so good.
It's a great site. That's where I was doing my research on Blankenberg. And it's amazing. Like, what I love about them is that they don't just stop at the AHL. They go way back, I mean, to when the kids were maybe 12, 13 years old and where they played. So you can get so much. There's a wealth of information there at Elite Prospects. And that's awesome that Pierre McGuire is going to be part of it. Congrats.
They, it was pretty interesting when George and I were overseas. We had finished one of our presentations, and this gentleman comes up to me. You don't know me? I'm like, no. And he says, I'd like to introduce myself. And I'm Hannes Anderson. I said, hey, Hannes, how you doing? And he says, I was very fascinated by what you and Mr. McPhee spoke about. I'm like, oh, thank you. That would mean a lot to George, and I know it means a lot to me. He says, I run a company called Elite Prospects. You may have heard of it. I go, heard of it? I look at it like 20 times a day.
Yeah.
I think it's an amazing prospect tool. It's an amazing tool for men and women.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, I'd like to have talks with you. And I'm like, okay. And that's where it started. So that'd be about a month and a half ago, maybe. Yeah. So I'm so excited. Big conference call tomorrow. I meet most of the team tomorrow morning. And looking forward to that. Really excited about it.
One of the things that, I know you have a passion for, but you'll be getting to do for them is scouting. Yeah. And that's something that'll be a big part of your job. So that's good. Congratulations to Pierre. Listen, thanks to all our viewers and listeners out there. Thanks for your awesome questions as always. We look forward to them every day. It's our favorite part of the day. Mm-hmm. Thanks to Shane working the boards up in Montreal. And little announcement here we've got a pretty good guest tomorrow who'll be joining us, and that would be Minnesota Wild general manager Bill Guerin, and also the general manager of Team USA for the Olympics. Mm-hmm. Will be here on the Eye Test tomorrow, the SIT Podcast Network at 4:15 p.m. But we'll start off at 4:05, so we'll see you then. Until then, enjoy the hockey tonight. Have a good one.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.